The abandoned rail yard stood silent in the pre-dawn cold. Officer Marcus Reed walked the perimeter alone, flashlight cutting through fog. He didn't know that within the hour, a ghost from the canine unit's past would drag him toward a discovery that would freeze his blood and shatter everything he thought he understood about loyalty. What Rex revealed on those tracks and how he got there would expose a web of corruption, trauma, and a criminal's twisted revenge that no one saw coming. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The morning was still. Too still. Marcus Reed pressed his thermos lid closed and exhaled into the February air. His breath hung like smoke before dissolving into nothing. Around him, Chicago's South Side rail corridor stretched empty and gray. Frost clung to every surface. The metal rails, the chain-link fencing, the rusted freight cars abandoned on sidings that hadn't seen use in years. He walked slowly. His boots crunched gravel with each step. The sound echoed off concrete pillars supporting the overpass above. Somewhere far off, a train horn groaned. The city was waking. Marcus wasn't sure he ever really slept anymore. 18 months. That's how long it had been since Emma's car slid on black ice and met the guardrail at 40 miles per hour. 18 months since the hospital. Since the funeral. Since he'd stopped being whole. 6 months since Titan retired. His canine partner of 8 years, hips finally giving out, eyes clouding over. Marcus had handed over the badge, watched Titan limp into his brother's farmhouse upstate, and requested a transfer. Street patrol, solo, no partner, no expectations. The department had agreed without argument. Everyone knew, everyone pitied him. That was worse than the grief sometimes. His radio crackled. Dispatch cycled through morning assignments. A domestic disturbance on Kedzie. Stalled vehicle blocking Roosevelt. Missing person case still active. Castellano girl, day 3. Marcus turned the volume down. Not his department anymore. He'd left investigations behind when he left the canine unit. Now he walked empty rail yards at dawn and told himself this was enough. His flashlight beam swept across the switching station ahead. The building had been condemned for a decade. Graffiti covered every surface. Broken windows gaped like missing teeth. The fence surrounding it sagged in places, torn open by scrappers looking for copper wire. Marcus had walked this route 100 times. Nothing ever changed here. Nothing ever would. He checked his watch. 6:42. Another 18 minutes and his shift ended. He could go home, microwave something, sit on the couch, stare at the television without watching it. Look at the empty dog bed in the corner and remember what purpose felt like. A sound stopped him. Faint, distant, almost swallowed by the wind. Whimpering, Marcus turned his head, listening. The sound came again, sharper this time, desperate. It echoed from somewhere near the old switching station. He redirected his path. His flashlight cut through the pre-dawn darkness as he approached the fence line. The whimpering grew louder, closer. It wasn't human. It was animal. Behind a collapsed section of chain link, partially hidden by overgrown weeds, Marcus saw him. A dog. Medium-sized. Dark coat matted with mud and something darker. Blood, maybe. The animal stood on 3 legs. His right front paw hung limp, bleeding from a deep laceration across the pad. But he wasn't cowering. He wasn't retreating. He stared directly at Marcus with eyes that caught the flashlight beam and reflected amber. Marcus froze. He recognized the breed instantly. 8 years in the canine unit had taught him that much. Belgian Malinois. The dog's coat was short, fawn-colored beneath the grime. His build was lean, maybe 60 pounds, all muscle and sinew. His ears stood erect, despite obvious exhaustion. Ribs pressed against his sides. He hadn't eaten in days, but it was the eyes that held Marcus. Sharp, intelligent, focused with an intensity that felt almost human. "Hey, buddy," Marcus said softly. He crouched down slowly, keeping his hands visible. "Where'd you come from?" The dog whined, not in fear, in urgency. Marcus scanned the area. No collar, no leash, no owner calling from the darkness. Just this dog, bleeding and alone, trapped behind rusted fence in a place no pet had any business being. "You're a Mal," Marcus murmured. "You're not a stray. Where's your handler?" The dog shifted weight off his injured paw. He tilted his head slightly, then turned to stare eastward. Down the tracks, into the deeper sections of the rail yard, where the abandoned lines disappeared into industrial wasteland. Marcus felt something stir in his chest, something he hadn't felt in months. Curiosity. "Someone's looking for you," Marcus said. He pulled his radio. "I'll call animal control. They'll scan you, find your owner." He stood, turned to walk back toward his patrol car. The dog barked, sharp, commanding, the kind of bark that demanded attention. Marcus stopped. He looked back. The dog barked again, same tone, same urgency. Then he stared down the tracks once more. His body language shifted, ears forward, muscles tense. Every line of him pointed east, like a compass needle. Marcus had seen this before, years ago, in training, in the field, alert behavior. This wasn't a lost pet begging for help. This was a trained canine trying to communicate. "You're trying to tell me something," Marcus said slowly. The dog whined. He pawed at the ground with his good front leg, once, twice, then stared at Marcus again. Those amber eyes held no confusion, no fear, only determination. Marcus approached the fence. He knelt beside the torn section. Up close, he could see more. A surgical scar on the dog's left shoulder. Faint but professional. The kind of veterinary surgeon leaves, not a backyard butcher. And on the dog's neck, barely visible beneath matted fur, a small rectangular scar. Microchip scanner incision. "You're not just trained," Marcus whispered. "You're registered." The dog pushed his muzzle through the fence gap. His nose touched Marcus's gloved hand. Warm breath fogged in the cold air. Something unspoken passed between them. Marcus had spent 18 months avoiding this, avoiding connection, avoiding the possibility of loss. He'd walked away from the canine unit because he couldn't bear partnering again, couldn't risk caring again. But this dog wasn't asking to be saved. He was asking for help completing a mission. Marcus pulled wire cutters from his belt. The fence links snapped with metallic pings. He widened the gap enough for the dog to squeeze through. The dog didn't bolt, didn't run. He stepped carefully through the opening, favoring his injured paw, and stood beside Marcus, waiting. "All right," Marcus said quietly. "Show me." The dog moved immediately. He limped east along the fence line, following the abandoned tracks deeper into the rail yard. His pace was deliberate, purposeful. He glanced back twice to ensure Marcus followed. Marcus did. They walked together into the gray morning. The dog navigated the terrain like he'd studied maps. He avoided debris without breaking stride, turned at junctions without hesitation. This wasn't wandering. This was navigation. "How do you know where you're going?" Marcus asked. The dog didn't answer. He just kept moving. Deeper into the yard, further from the city, towards something only he could sense. The dog led Marcus half a mile into the rail yard's forgotten heart. The city sounds faded behind them. No traffic, no voices. Just wind scraping across metal and the crunch of gravel beneath their feet. Marcus's flashlight beams swept across rusted freight cars frozen on tracks that led nowhere. Graffiti covered everything. Tags layered over tags. Years of urban decay compressed into peeling paint and corroded steel. The dog moved with purpose, despite his limp. His injured paw left small blood prints on the frost-covered ground. Marcus watched him navigate around debris without slowing. The animal knew this place, or he'd memorized it through repetition. "You've been here before," Marcus said. The dog's ears twitched. He didn't look back. He just kept moving east, following the abandoned spur line toward where it intersected with active commuter. Tear tracks. They reached a junction. Rails crossed at harsh angles. The dog stopped. His nose lifted. He sniffed the air in short, rapid bursts. Then he changed direction. North now. Toward a drainage culvert running beneath the tracks. Marcus followed. His boots splashed through shallow puddles. The smell hit him. Diesel. Rust. Something organic and rotting. The culvert entrance was partially collapsed. Concrete chunks blocked most of the opening. The dog approached carefully. He lowered his head and sniffed along the debris line. Then he froze. His entire body went rigid. Ears forward, tail straight. Weight balanced on 3 legs. Alert posture. Marcus had seen it 1,000 times. Titan had done the same thing when he detected narcotics or weapons. A trained response. Instinct paired with conditioning. "What is it, boy?" Marcus knelt beside him. The dog's nose pointed at something wedged between two concrete slabs. Marcus pulled his flashlight closer. The beam illuminated a scrap of fabric, green, torn, caught on rebar protruding from broken concrete. Marcus pulled latex gloves from his belt. He carefully extracted the fabric. It was cotton, part of a sleeve maybe, or a dress. The tear was fresh. No weathering, no fading. He bagged it in an evidence pouch from his patrol kit. "Evidence of what?" he muttered. The dog whined. He pawed at the ground near the culvert entrance. Once, twice, 3 times. Then he stared at Marcus with those unnervingly intelligent eyes. Marcus shone his light into the culvert. The beam penetrated about 15 feet before darkness swallowed it. He could see boot prints in the mud inside. Fresh, size 11 or 12, and cigarette butts, Marlboro Reds, at least a dozen scattered near the entrance. Someone had been here, recently, watching something. "This is a surveillance point," Marcus said slowly. The dog turned away from the culvert. He limped back toward the junction. His movements remained deliberate, controlled. This wasn't random searching. This was systematic. Marcus radioed dispatch. "Reed here. I'm at the South Yard Junction near mile marker 49. I've got evidence of possible criminal activity. Fresh boot prints and fabric. Requesting a unit for follow-up." The dispatcher's voice crackled back. "Copy, Reed. Nearest unit is 20 minutes out. Can you secure the scene?" Affirmative. Marcus clipped the radio. He looked at the dog. The animal sat now, facing him, waiting. "Who trained you?" Marcus asked. The dog's head tilted slightly. Marcus approached slowly. He reached out carefully. The dog didn't flinch, didn't growl. He allowed Marcus to run gloved fingers through the matted fur on his neck. There. Marcus felt it. The ridge of scar tissue. Small, rectangular. Exactly where microchips are implanted in working dogs. "You're registered," Marcus said. "You belong to someone." The dog stood abruptly. His ears swiveled toward the east. Something had caught his attention. A sound Marcus couldn't hear. Or a scent carried on the wind. The dog moved. Fast this time despite his injury. He broke into an awkward 3-legged lope, heading deeper into the yard. "Wait," Marcus called. The dog didn't wait. He ran. Marcus cursed and followed. His boots pounded gravel. His breath came harder. The dog was fast, even injured. He wove between abandoned equipment and rusted machinery with practiced ease. They covered 200 yards. The dog suddenly stopped at another intersection. This one was different. The abandoned spur merged with an active commuter line. Fresh ballast. Maintained rails. Warning signs posted every 50 feet. The dog's nose worked frantically. He circled a small area near the rail bed. His behavior intensified. More urgent. More desperate. Marcus caught up, breathing hard. "What are you finding?" The dog pawed at crushed vegetation beside the tracks. His claws scraped something loose from the gravel. It tumbled free and caught morning light. A hair ribbon. Child-sized, pink, with white polka dots. Marcus's stomach dropped. He picked it up with gloved fingers. It was clean. Undamaged. The knot still tied perfectly. Someone had worn this recently. Someone small. The missing girl. Castellano's daughter. She was 9 years old, taken from school 3 days ago. No leads, no witnesses, no ransom demands. Just gone. Marcus's radio crackled. "All units, be advised. Missing person case. Mia Castellano remains active. Subject is a 9-year-old female, last seen wearing a green dress and pink hair ribbon." Green dress, pink ribbon. Marcus looked at the fabric in his evidence bag, then at the ribbon in his hand. "Oh God," he whispered. The dog whined. He stared down the active rail line. His body trembled, not from cold, from urgency. Marcus pulled his radio. "Dispatch, this is Reed. I'm at South Yard, mile marker 47. I found evidence connected to the Castellano case. I need immediate backup and a canine supervisor." "Copy, Reed. Routing units now. Tell them to bring Sergeant Park from K9. Tell him it's about a Belgian Malinois." A pause. "Repeat that, Reed." "Just get Park here, now." Marcus clipped the radio. He looked at the dog. The animal hadn't moved. He stared down those tracks like he could see through distance and time to something hidden ahead. "You know where she is," Marcus said quietly. don't you?" The dog's ears flicked. His amber eyes shifted to Marcus. For just a moment, the intensity softened. Something almost like relief flickered there. He wasn't alone anymore. Someone finally understood. Marcus knelt beside him. "I don't know who you are. I don't know how you got here. But I know what you're trying to do." The dog's tail moved once. A single wag. "We're going to find her," Marcus said. "Together." Sirens echoed in the distance, growing closer. Help was coming. But Marcus felt something else rising inside him. Something he'd buried with Emma and lost when Titan left. Purpose. This dog had been searching alone, injured, exhausted, driven by something deeper than training, deeper than instinct. Loyalty. The kind that doesn't die when handlers disappear. The kind that keeps fighting when everyone else gives up. Marcus had forgotten what that felt like. Now, kneeling in gravel beside a bleeding canine who refused to quit, he remembered. "Show me," Marcus said. "Show me everything." The dog stood. He pressed his shoulder against Marcus's leg. Warm, solid, real. A partnership had begun. Not through assignment or ceremony, but through shared purpose in the gray morning light. The sirens grew louder. Backup was 3 minutes out, but Marcus already knew. This case wouldn't be solved by procedure or protocol. It would be solved by a dog who refused to forget, and an officer who just remembered why he wore the badge sergeant. David Park arrived 12 minutes later. His unmarked SUV skidded to a stop on the gravel access road. He stepped out fast, eyes scanning the scene. 2 patrol units flanked his vehicle. Officers spread out to secure the perimeter. Park was in his mid-40s, compact and solid. 20 years in K9. He'd trained more dogs than Marcus had known. His face carried the weathered look of someone who'd seen too much and saved too many. He spotted Marcus immediately. Then his eyes dropped to the dog. Park froze mid-step. "Marcus," he said slowly, "where did you find him?" "Trapped behind the switching station fence. Bleeding. Alone." Marcus gestured to the evidence bags. "He led me here. Found this fabric and the ribbon." Park approached the dog carefully. His movements were deliberate, respectful. The way you approach something you thought you'd lost forever. The dog's ears perked. He watched Park with recognition flickering in his amber eyes. "Rex," Park whispered. The dog's tail moved, just once, a controlled wag. Park knelt slowly. He extended his hand palm down. Rex sniffed it. Then he pressed his muzzle into Park's palm and exhaled. "It's really you," Park said. His voice cracked slightly. "We thought you were gone." Marcus stepped closer. "You know this dog?" Park nodded without looking up. His hand moved to Rex's shoulder, checking for injuries. "This is Rex, K9V418, son of Valor." The name hit Marcus like a punch. Everyone in the department knew Valor. The legendary German shepherd who'd taken 3 bullets, saving hostages during an armed robbery 8 months ago. The dog died on the way to the vet. His handler survived because Valor put himself between the gunman and the woman he'd sworn to protect. "Valor's son," Marcus repeated. "Rex was assigned to Lieutenant Sarah Chen," Park continued. He examined Rex's injured paw with gentle fingers. Explosives detection, tactical tracking. Chen went undercover 4 months ago investigating a trafficking ring. She disappeared. No contact, no body. Marcus felt the pieces shifting. "And Rex?" Park's jaw tightened. "We were transporting him to a federal facility 3 weeks ago. Thought he'd be safer there until we found Chen." The van was ambushed near the warehouse district. Driver knocked unconscious. Back doors blown open. When backup arrived, Rex was gone. "Ambushed," Marcus said. "Not an accident. We thought it was about stealing canines. Trained Malinois sell for 15 grand on the black market." Park stood. He looked at the evidence bags in Marcus's hands. But if Rex found evidence tied to the Castellano case, this wasn't random. Marcus handed over the fabric and ribbon. Park examined them under his flashlight. His expression darkened. "Mia Castellano was wearing a green dress when she was taken," Park said quietly. Her mother confirmed the ribbon. "Pink with white dots, Mia's favorite." "She's been missing for 52 hours, Marcus added. Park's radio crackled. He answered. "Park here." "Sergeant, this is Detective Castellano." The woman's voice was strained, raw, sleep-deprived. "I heard you at South Yard. Do you have something?" Park hesitated. He glanced at Marcus, then at Rex. "We have evidence. I need you to come identify it personally. I'm 10 minutes out." The line went dead. Park looked at Rex. The dog sat calmly now, despite his injuries. His focus remained locked on the rail line stretching east. "He's been tracking her," Marcus said. It wasn't a question. "For 3 weeks?" Park shook his head. "That's impossible. Dogs can't maintain a search that long without hand lift support." Then he wasn't searching for 3 weeks. Marcus crouched beside Rex. He was waiting. Park frowned. Waiting for what? Marcus met his eyes. For someone to listen. Rex shifted, his ears swiveled east again. That same intense focus, that same unwavering certainty. "He knows where she is," Marcus said. "Marcus, even the best canines need direction. They need scent articles, command structure. Rex has been alone since the ambush. No food, no medical care, no handler." "Look at him," Marcus said firmly. "Does he look lost to you?" Park studied Rex. The dog's posture was controlled, alert. His amber eyes tracked movement across the rail yard with tactical awareness. This wasn't a traumatized animal. This was a soldier on mission. "What was Rex doing when Chen went undercover?" Marcus asked. Park thought for a moment. He was still active duty. Chen brought him to briefings sometimes. He was present when she met with Castellano about the trafficking case. So Rex knew Castellano, knew her family. He met Mia twice, maybe 3 times. Park's eyes widened slightly. Chen brought Rex to Mia's school for a canine demonstration 6 months ago. Part of community outreach. Marcus stood. Rex knows Mia's scent. He knows the family. And if he was present during the ambush, he might have heard something. Heard what? Plans. Names. Locations. Marcus gestured to the evidence. "You said the ambush happened near the warehouse district. How far is that from Castellano's house?" Park pulled out his phone. He checked the map. His face went pale. 3 blocks, he whispered. The pieces locked together. The ambush wasn't about stealing Rex. It was a tactical diversion. Sokolov's crew discussing the Castellano hit while neutralizing the transport. Rex was there. Rex heard everything. And when they left him behind, assuming he'd run or be collected by animal control, they made a fatal mistake. They underestimated Valor's son. Rex had gone to Castellano's house, picked up Nia's scent from the abduction site at her school, tracked the van's route to the rail yards where evidence was dumped, and he'd been patrolling the perimeter ever since, waiting for Mia's scent to reappear, waiting for her to be moved. "He's not lost," Marcus said quietly. "He's on mission." A vehicle approached. Detective Angela Castellano's sedan pulled up fast. She stepped out before the engine fully stopped. Her appearance shocked Marcus. Dark circles beneath red-rimmed eyes, clothes wrinkled, hair pulled back hastily. She'd aged years in 52 hours. "Where's the evidence?" she demanded. Park handed over the bags. Castellano's hands trembled as she examined the fabric, then the ribbon. Her breath caught. "That's hers," she whispered. "That's Mia's ribbon. She wore it every day, even to bed." "Where was it found?" Her voice broke. "Near mile marker 47, Park said gently. Rex led Officer Reed directly to it. Castellano's eyes found Rex. The dog sat motionless, watching her. "You're Valor's pup," she said. Recognition and pain mixed in her expression. "Sarah showed me pictures, before she didn't finish. She didn't need to. Rex has been tracking Mia," Marcus said carefully. "We think he knows where she is." Castellano looked at him sharply. "How?" "He was present during the van ambush. He may have heard the crew discussing your daughter. He tracked her scent to this location and found evidence." "Can he lead us to her?" Marcus looked at Rex. The dog's gaze remained fixed on the eastern rail line, unwavering. "He's been trying to," Marcus said, "for days, but he needed help. He needed someone to understand." Castellano knelt before Rex, her eyes filled with tears. "Can you find my baby? Can you bring her home?" Rex's ears flicked forward. He stood. He walked to Castellano and pressed his head against her knee, just for a moment, a gesture of acknowledgement, of promise. Then he turned back to the tracks, back to his mission. "He's ready," Park said. "But Marcus, he's injured, dehydrated. He needs medical attention." "He needs to finish this first," Marcus replied. Rex took 3 steps east. He stopped, looked back at them, waiting. The message was clear: follow me, now. Marcus made the call. Rex needed medical attention before they could proceed. The dog's injured paw was bleeding through the makeshift bandage Park had applied. Dehydration had left his eyes slightly sunken. He'd been running on adrenaline and determination alone. Park radioed for the mobile canine veterinary unit. Dr. Lisa Patel arrived within 20 minutes. Her van was equipped with everything needed for field treatment. She'd worked with the department for 8 years. She'd seen injured dogs before. But when she opened the van's side door and saw Rex, something in her expression shifted. "Bring him inside," she said quietly. Marcus guided Rex into the van. The dog climbed the steps without hesitation. Inside, the space was clinical, sterile. Equipment lined the walls. An examination table dominated the center. Rex jumped onto the table without being told. He sat, calm, waiting. Dr. Patel washed her hands. She approached slowly, speaking in low tones. "Hey, beautiful boy. Let's see what we're working with." She began her examination. Her hands moved expertly across Rex's body, checking joints, palpating organs, listening to his heart and lungs with a stethoscope. "Dehydration. Moderate," she said. "Paw laceration needs cleaning and stitches, but his muscle tone is exceptional. He's fit, trained." She inserted an IV catheter into Rex's front leg. Fluids began dripping into his system. Rex didn't flinch. He'd been through this before. "How long has he been alone?" Dr. Patel asked. 4 days, Park answered from the doorway. "Maybe longer. He should be in worse shape." She examined the paw more closely. "This cut is deep, but there's no infection. He's been keeping it clean somehow." She irrigated the wound, applied local anesthetic. Rex watched her work without moving. "He's incredibly calm for a dog in pain," Dr. Patel murmured. She began suturing. "Most canines are stoic, but this is different. He's not just enduring, he's cooperating." "He knows we're helping," Marcus said. Dr. Patel glanced at him. "Or he knows he needs to be functional for something else." She finished the stitches, 7 of them, small and precise. She wrapped the paw in a waterproof bandage. Then she pulled out a handheld health scanner. "Let's see who you belong to," she said. She passed the scanner over Rex's neck. It beeped. A number appeared on the small screen. K9V418. Dr. Patel typed the number into her tablet. The screen loaded. Then her eyes widened. "Oh my God," she whispered. "What is it?" Marcus asked. She turned the tablet. The screen showed a registration profile. Rex's photo, date of birth, training certifications. And at the top, in red letters, "Classified. Contact CPD K9 unit immediately." Below that, another line. "Presumed deceased case, K9R0847. "He's listed as dead," Dr. Patel said. Park stepped closer. He read the screen. His jaw tightened. "That's the case number from the ambush. We filed Rex as killed in action when we couldn't find him." "Why would you do that?" Marcus demanded. "Because the alternative was worse," Park said quietly. "If Rex was alive and missing, that meant someone took him, sold him, used him for fighting or breeding. We thought declaring him KIA was kinder than imagining that." Dr. Patel scrolled down the profile. "His sire is listed as Valor. Dam is listed as Kira, both deceased." She looked at Rex. "You're the last of your line." Rex's ears flicked. He seemed to understand the weight of those words. "What else does it say?" Marcus asked. Dr. Patel read aloud. "Handler, Lieutenant Sarah Chen. Status, missing in action. Last known location, undercover operation, Warehouse District. Date, October 19th. That was 4 months ago. Specialty training," Dr. Patel continued. "Explosives detection, tactical tracking, high-value target apprehension. Clearance level, federal." Park exhaled slowly. Rex wasn't just Chen's partner. He was part of a joint task force, FBI and CPD, tracking Sokolov's trafficking network. Castellano's voice came from outside the van. "Victor Sokolov?" Park nodded. "Your raid 3 months ago dismantled his Chicago operations, seized $4.2 million in assets, got his brother killed during the warehouse shootout." Castellano's face went ashen. "His brother died in the rail yard. We cornered him near the switching station. He drew on my partner. I fired. The pieces fell into place with sickening clarity. The rail yard, the ambush location, the place Rex had been searching. This isn't just revenge," Marcus said slowly. "It's symbolic. Sokolov is making me watch," Castellano whispered. "He's making me search the same place where his brother died, while my daughter—" She couldn't finish. Tears streamed down her face. Park's phone rang. He answered, listened. His expression darkened. He ended the call and looked at Castellano. "That was the task force. They recovered Chen's body this morning. Abandoned building on the south side. She'd been dead for 3 months." The van fell silent. Rex lowered his head. Some deep instinct told him his handler wasn't coming back, would never come back. Marcus placed a hand on Rex's shoulder. "I'm sorry, buddy." Rex looked at him. Those amber eyes held no confusion, only acceptance and renewed determination. He'd lost his mother, lost his handler, but he hadn't lost his mission. Dr. Patel checked Rex's IV. He's stable. Fluids are helping. The paw is secured. He can move, but he shouldn't run long distances yet. Can he track? Marcus asked. Physically, yes. But Marcus, he's been through trauma, emotional and physical. Most dogs would shut down. Rex isn't most dogs, Park said quietly. Dr. Patel looked at Rex. The dog sat perfectly still, watching, waiting for permission to continue. No, she agreed. He's not. She removed the IV, applied a bandage to the catheter site. Rex jumped down from the table immediately. He walked to the van door, stopped, looked back at Marcus. Ready. Marcus turned to Castellano. Rex tracked Mia from your house to Israel Yard. He found evidence. He's been patrolling this area for days. He knows something we don't. What do you need? Castellano asked. Time and trust. Marcus looked at Park. Let Rex lead. We follow. No interference, no commands unless absolutely necessary. Park hesitated. Marcus, Canine protocol requires. Protocol didn't find Mia, Marcus interrupted. Rex did. In 4 days, alone. And injured. He accomplished what the entire department couldn't in 52 hours. Castellano stepped forward. Let the dog work. I don't care about protocol. I care about my daughter. Park studied Rex. The dog's focus remained absolute. This wasn't an animal operating on instinct. This was a trained professional executing a mission. All right, Park said finally. Reed, you're his temporary handler. Follow his lead. I'll coordinate backup and keep command updated. Marcus knelt beside Rex. You ready to finish this? Rex's tail moved once, his body tensed with anticipation. Then show me, Marcus said. Rex walked out of the van, down the steps, back toward the rail junction, where he'd found the ribbon. But this time, he didn't stop. He kept moving. East, deeper into the rail yard, toward the active commuter line that stretched into industrial wasteland, toward something only he could sense, something he'd been tracking for days. Somewhere ahead, Mia Castellano waited, and Rex wasn't stopping until he found her. Rex moved with renewed urgency. The fluids had restored some of his strength. The bandaged paw still caused a limp, but he pushed through it. His nose worked constantly, sniffing air, ground, rails. Marcus followed close behind. Park and Castellano flanked him. 3 patrol units maintained distance, keeping the perimeter secure, but staying far enough back to avoid spooking Rex. The morning had fully broken now. Pale sunlight filtered through industrial haze. The temperature climbed slowly. Frost began melting from metal surfaces. Rex led them along the active commuter line. The rails gleamed with recent use. Warning signs posted every 100 feet. High voltage, no trespassing. Trains run frequently. Marcus checked his watch. 7:43. Morning commuter routes would be active soon. Rex stopped abruptly, his head lifted. Ears swiveling like radar dishes. He'd caught something, a sound or scent invisible to human senses. What is it? Marcus whispered. Rex's body language shifted. Muscles tensed, stance widened. His hackles raised slightly along his spine. Alert, but not aggressive, cautious. He moved forward again, slower now. Each step deliberate. He was stalking. They reached a section where the tracks curved sharply. Vegetation grew thicker here. Tall grass and scrub brush obscured the railbed. Abandoned machinery rusted in clusters. Old signals, broken switching equipment, a graveyard of industrial progress. Rex's nose dropped to the ground. He followed a scent trail invisible to everyone else. His path wove between debris with surgical precision. He stopped beside a collapsed chain-link fence. Beyond it, a maintenance access tunnel. Concrete entrance half hidden by overgrowth. The opening was large enough for a person, or a child. Rex approached the tunnel mouth. He sniffed the perimeter carefully. Then he sat, raised his right paw. The classic detection alert. He's indicating, Park said quietly. Something's here. Marcus approached carefully. He shone his flashlight into the tunnel. The beam penetrated about 30 feet before hitting a turn. The walls were concrete, graffiti-covered. Water pooled on the floor. "This tunnel connects to the old service chambers," Park said. He pulled up a map on his phone. "They run under the entire rail yard. Most were sealed decades ago." "Most," Narcus repeated, "but not all." Castellano stepped forward, whose voice shook. "Is she in there?" Rex whined, not in uncertainty, in confirmation. Marcus pulled his radio. "Dispatch, this is Reed. We're at the eastern junction near mile marker 45. We have a possible location. Requesting immediate backup and tactical support." "Copy, Reed. Units are en route. ETA 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog stared into the tunnel with unwavering focus. "We can't wait," Castellano said. "If she's in there." "We don't know what else is in there," Park interrupted. "This could be a trap. Sokolov's crew might be waiting. Or they might be moving her," Marcus said. "Rex tracked her here for a reason. He's not indicating a cold trail. This is active." A distant sound cut through the morning air. Low, rhythmic, growing louder. "Uder, train horn." Park checked his phone. "Southbound commuter, due through here in 28 minutes. Marcus felt ice spread through his chest. 28 minutes. If Nia was tied to the tracks anywhere in this section, they had less than half an hour to find her. Rex stood. He didn't wait for permission. He entered the tunnel. "Rex!" Park called. The dog didn't stop. He disappeared into darkness. Marcus made a decision. "I'm going in." "Park, coordinate backup." "Castellano, stay here." "Like hell," Castellano said. "That's my daughter." "And you're emotionally compromised," Marcus said firmly. "You stay here. Guide tactical when they arrive." "That's an order, detective." Castellano's jaw clenched, but she nodded. She understood. Going in blind with her daughter's life at stake could get everyone killed. Marcus pulled his service weapon. He checked the magazine. Full. He pulled his flashlight. Fresh batteries. Then he entered the tunnel. The temperature dropped immediately. The concrete walls trapped cold air. Water dripped somewhere ahead. Each drop echoed like a countdown. Marcus's flashlight beam caught Rex 20 feet ahead. The dog moved cautiously now. His nose swept side to side, reading information Marcus couldn't access. The tunnel curved left, then right. It descended gradually. They were going underground, beneath the rail yard, into spaces that hadn't seen maintenance in decades. The walls changed. Less graffiti, more decay. Rust stains bled from rebar. Concrete crumbled in sections. This wasn't just old. It was structurally unsound. Rex stopped, his ears pinned back. A low growl rumbled from his chest. Marcus froze. "What is it?" Rex's focus locked on something ahead, beyond the flashlight's reach, something that triggered his threat assessment. Marcus advanced slowly, his weapon raised, finger outside the trigger guard, but ready. The tunnel opened into a wider chamber. Service junction, maybe. Multiple passages branched off in different directions. The ceiling rose to 12 feet. Support beams crisscrossed overhead. And there, in the center of the floor, Marcus saw it. Rope. Fresh. Nylon. Cut ends still frayed. Someone had been tied here, recently. Rex sniffed the rope carefully. His body trembled, not from fear, from recognition. "Mia was here," Marcus whispered. But she wasn't anymore. Rex's head snapped toward the eastern passage. His growl intensified. Then he barked. Once. Sharp. Urgent. Warning. Marcus heard it then. Footsteps. Running. Multiple people, coming from deeper in the tunnel system. "Police!" Marcus shouted. "Stop where you are." The footsteps didn't stop. They accelerated. Rex bolted, his injured paw forgotten. He charged into the eastern passage with tactical precision. Marcus followed. His boots splashed through water. His flashlight beam bounced wildly. Ahead, Rex's silhouette moved like a shadow. Fast, focused, hunting. The passage narrowed. Marcus's shoulders brushed both walls. The ceiling lowered. He had to duck. Then the passage opened into another chamber, larger. This one had been used recently. Sleeping bags in the corner, food wrappers, bottled water, and a propane heater still warm. A hideout. Rex stood in the center of the room. His nose worked frantically, following scent trails that layered and overlapped. Multiple people, multiple visits. Marcus swept the room with his flashlight, looking for exits, for threats, for Mia. Nothing. But Rex found something else. He pawed at a pile of blankets in the corner, uncovering what lay beneath. A photograph, school picture, 9-year-old girl with dark hair and bright eyes. Mia Castellano. Marcus's radio crackled. Park's voice. Marcus, tactical is 3 minutes out. What's her status? I'm in the service chambers beneath the rail yard. Rex tracked Mia here. She was held in this location, but she's been moved. Recently. How recently? Marcus touched the propane heater, still radiating warmth. Within the last hour, maybe less. Get out of there. It's not safe. Negative. Rex has the trail. We're pursuing. Marcus. She's alive, Park. And she's close. We're not stopping. Marcus clipped the radio. He looked at Rex. Where is she? Rex moved to the chamber's far wall. A metal door. Rusted hinges. Secured with a chain and padlock. But the chain was loose. Hanging. The padlock was open. Someone had gone through. Fast. Minutes ago. Rex pawed at the door. Whined. Desperate now. Marcus holstered his weapon. He grabbed the door handle. It resisted. Rust and age fighting against movement. He pulled harder. Metal screamed against metal. The door opened. Beyond it, another tunnel. But this one was different. Newer construction. The walls were smoother. The floor sloped upward. And at the far end, barely visible in the darkness, Marcus saw it. Daylight. An exit. Rex ran. Marcus sprinted after him. The tunnel stretched 200 feet. The incline grew steeper. Marcus's legs burned. His breath came in ragged gasps. They burst into daylight. Marcus stumbled, blinked against sudden brightness. They were back at track level, but a different section, further east, isolated. No patrol units nearby, and there, 50 yards away, beside the active commuter rail, Marcus saw her, a small figure, green dress torn and dirty, hands bound, duct tape across her mouth, tied directly to the rail with rope around her waist. Mia Castellano. Her eyes were wide, terrified. She struggled against the restraints. Rex saw her too. He barked, loud, commanding. Then the sound Marcus had been dreading cut through everything else. Train horn. Closer now. Much closer. The southbound commuter, right on schedule. Marcus ran. His boots pounded ballast. His radio bounced against his hip. The train horn blared again, louder. The vibration carried through the rails beneath his feet. Dispatch. Marcus shouted into his radio. Stop all southbound trains on the Eastern Line. Emergency, now. Attempting contact with rail control, the dispatcher's voice crackled back. Stand by. There was no time to stand by. Marcus closed the distance. 30 yards. 20. Rex reached Mia first. The dog circled her frantically, barking. His body language screamed urgency. Marcus dropped to his knees beside Mia. The girl's eyes locked onto his. Tears streamed down her face. She made muffled sounds through the duct tape. Terrified whimpers. Mia, I'm Officer Reed. You're safe now. I'm going to get you out. He pulled his knife, flipped it open, reached for the ropes binding her to the rail. Rex barked sharply. Warning. Marcus froze. His hand inches from the rope. Rex positioned himself beside a specific section of rope. He sat, raised his paw. Detection alert. What are you telling me? Marcus breathed. He looked closer. The rope around Mia's waist wasn't just tied to the rail. It ran through a metal loop welded to the track bed. And from that loop, a thin wire extended into the gravel. Tripwire. Marcus followed the wire with his eyes. It disappeared under the ballast, leading somewhere he couldn't see. It's rigged, Marcus whispered. His hands shook. It's booby-trapped. The train horn sounded again, much closer. Marcus could hear the diesel engine now, the screech of wheels on rails. His radio crackled. Reed, rail control confirms southbound commuter is approaching mile marker 43. They're attempting emergency stop, but the train needs minimum half mile to brake at current speed. Marcus checked the marker post nearby. Mile marker 45, 2 miles. At 60 miles per hour, that gave them less than 2 minutes. Mia, Marcus said, forcing calm into his voice. I need you to stay very still. Don't move. Don't pull against the ropes. Understand? Mia nodded frantically. Her whole body trembled. Marcus keyed his radio. Park. I need bomb squad at mile marker 45. Victim is secured with an IED trigger. I can't move her without detonation. Bomb squad is 20 minutes out. We don't have 20 minutes. Trains incoming. Silence. Then Park's voice, tight with controlled panic. Can you see the device? Negative. Wire runs underground. Rex moved. He circled Mia's position, sniffing. reading scent molecules, chemical signatures. His nose worked with mechanical precision. He stopped at a point 3 feet from Mia, sat, paw raised, then moved to another position, sat again. He's indicating multiple points, Marcus said. D into the radio. Rex is mapping the device. Marcus, you're not trained for this. Rex is. Marcus watched Rex carefully. The dog moved to a third position, near a drainage coupling partially buried in gravel. He sat beside it, stared at Marcus, then pawed gently at the coupling. You're showing me something, Marcus said. He approached the coupling carefully, brushed away gravel. The coupling was old, rusted, but something was attached to it. A small metal box. Waterproof. Military grade. Marcus's blood went cold, blasting cap housing. The train horn screamed, continuous now. The engineer had seen them, but physics didn't care. Tons of steel moving at speed couldn't stop on demand. Marcus had seconds, not minutes, seconds. He looked at Rex. The dog moved back to the first indication point, the tripwire leading from Mia's ropes. He sat beside it, then looked at the second point, then the third. A sequence. Rex was showing him the order of the trigger mechanism. You brilliant boy, Marcus whispered. He moved to the second indication point. Rex had marked a spot where 2 wires intersected beneath a flat stone. Marcus lifted the stone carefully. There, a junction box. 2 wires entering, 1 wire exiting. The exiting wire led to the blasting cap. This was a decoy. If Marcus cut Mia's ropes first, it would trigger the primary charge. But if he disconnected this junction first, it would disable the detonation path. The train was visible now, quarter-mile away, horn blaring continuously. Marcus pulled wire cutters from his belt. His hands shook so badly he nearly dropped them. Steady, he told himself. Rex sat beside him, calm, certain. Marcus positioned the cutters on the outgoing wire, the one leading to the blasting cap. If you're wrong, Marcus said to Rex, we all die. Rex's amber eyes didn't waver. Marcus cut the wire. Nothing exploded. He exhaled. Moved immediately to Mia, grabbed the ropes binding her waist. Rex barked, sharp, negative. What? Marcus looked at the dog. Rex moved to the metal loop where the rope threaded through. He pawed beneath it, at something Marcus hadn't seen, a pressure switch, hidden under the loop. If the rope's tension released too quickly, it would trigger. Oh God, Marcus breathed. The train was 200 yards away. Emergency brakes screaming, sparks flying from locked wheels. It wasn't going to stop in time. Marcus looked at the rope, at the switch, at Mia's terrified face. He couldn't cut the rope, couldn't release tension, couldn't move her without triggering the backup detonator. But he could move the anchor point. Marcus grabbed the metal loop. It was welded to a steel plate buried in the ballast. He pulled. Nothing. Welded solid. Park, Marcus screamed into his radio. I need something to break a weld, now. What? Crowbar, sledgehammer, anything. Marcus, there's no time. Marcus dropped the radio. He looked at Rex. Help me dig. He clawed at the gravel around the steel plate. His fingers bled. Rex joined him, paws scraping, digging frantically. The plate loosened, slightly. The ballast beneath it had eroded over time. Water damage. The weld was solid, but the concrete it was anchored to was crumbling. The train was 100 yards away. Marcus braced his feet, grabbed the metal loop with both hands, pulled with everything he had. His shoulders screamed, his back arched, muscles tore, the plate shifted, 1 inch. Come on, Marcus roared. Rex grabbed the rope in his jaws. He pulled backward, adding his weight. The plate lifted, 2 inches, 3. Marcus adjusted his grip, pulled again. The plate came free, concrete chunks still attached. Mia, hold on. He grabbed her, scooped her up, rope still attached, pressure switch still engaged, but the anchor was free. He ran, away from the tracks, carrying Mia, dragging the steel plate and rope behind them. Rex ran beside him. 10 yards, 15, 20. The train thundered past. Wind blast hit like a physical force. Marcus stumbled, fell. He rolled, covering Mia with his body, protecting her. The train's horn Dopplered away, the sound fading. Wheels still screaming. Then silence. Marcus lay on his back, gasping. His entire body shook. Above him, Mia stared down, still bound, still tape over her mouth, but alive. Rex appeared. He licked Mia's face gently. Once, twice, then he collapsed beside Marcus. Exhausted. Mission complete. Marcus laughed. A sound between relief and hysteria. We did it. We actually did it. Sirens wailed in the distance. Backup arriving. Too late to help. Right on time to witness. Marcus reached up, gently peeled the duct tape from Mia's mouth. She sucked in a breath, then another. Then she sobbed. It's okay, Marcus said softly. You're safe. Rex found you. He never stopped looking. Mia looked at Rex. The dog's tail wagged weakly. Good dog, she whispered. Good boy. Rex's eyes closed. For the first time in 4 days, he allowed himself to rest. Patrol units surrounded them. Park arrived running. Castellano behind him. Mia, Castellano screamed. She dropped beside her daughter, pulled her close, sobbing. Mia clung to her mother. Park knelt beside Marcus. You're insane, you know that? Probably, Marcus said. He didn't move, couldn't move. Every muscle had given everything. The bomb squad arrived. They carefully examined the device, the wires, the pressure switch. Officer Reed, the squad leader called. You cut the right wire. But if you'd pulled that rope without moving the anchor plate, the backup trigger would have detonated. How did you know? Marcus looked at Rex. I didn't. He did. A squad leader followed his gaze. The dog? Explosives detection, tactical assessment. He mapped the entire device, showed me the sequence. The squad leader stared at Rex with newfound respect. That's the most sophisticated IED awareness I've seen from a canine. He's Valor's son, Park said quietly. It's in his blood. The command post was established 2 blocks from the rail yard. Mobile units, forensics vans, federal vehicles with tinted windows. The Castellano rescue had triggered a full-scale investigation. Every agency wanted answers. Marcus sat on the back bumper of an ambulance. A paramedic cleaned the cuts on his hands. His shoulders ached. His back felt like someone had driven nails through the muscles. But he was alive. Mia was alive. Rex lay beside him. Dr. Patel had examined him again, changed his bandage, given him more fluids. The dog's eyes were half closed, exhausted, but content. Castellano approached. Mia held her hand tightly. The girl hadn't let go since the rescue. She wore a blanket over her torn dress. Her face was clean now, the tear tracks washed away, but the fear still lingered in her eyes. Officer Reed, Castellano said. Her voice was thick with emotion. I don't have words. You don't need them, Marcus replied. Mia stepped forward. She knelt beside Rex. The dog opened his eyes. His tail thumped once against the pavement. Thank you, Mia whispered. She placed her small hand on Rex's head. You saved me. Rex exhaled softly. His eyes closed again. Can I ask what happened? Marcus said gently to Castellano. How did Sokolov's people take her? Castellano's jaw tightened. They grabbed her outside school. White van, 2 men. Witnesses said it took less than 10 seconds. She was gone before anyone could react. And they held her for 52 hours before moving her to the rails. The initial hideout was compromised. Anonymous tip led patrol close to their location. They had to relocate fast. That's when Rex must have picked up the trail. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog had been tracking, waiting, watching for the moment Sokolov's crew moved Mia. And when they did, he followed. Park joined them. Behind him walked a man in a dark suit. FBI credentials clipped to his belt. His expression was neutral, professional, but his eyes held calculation. Officer Reed, Park said. This is Special Agent Morrison. He's with the federal task force tracking Sokolov. Morrison extended his hand. Marcus shook it. The agent's grip was firm, impersonal. Impressive work today, Morrison said. You and the dog saved that girl's life. Rex did the work. I just followed. Morrison smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. Humble, I respect that, but we need to discuss Rex's status. Marcus's stomach tightened. His status? Rex is federal property. He was part of a joint task force. His handler, Lieutenant Chen, was operating under federal authority when she disappeared. She's dead, Marcus said flatly. Park confirmed it this morning. which makes Rex's status complicated. Morrison pulled out a tablet. He scrolled through documents. According to federal canine protocols, Rex should be transferred to Quantico for reassignment. Reassignment, Marcus repeated. He's a valuable asset. Explosives detection. Tactical tracking. Today proved he's still operational despite being alone for 4 days. We can't waste that capability. Castellano stepped forward. Her voice was ice. That dog isn't an asset. He's a hero. He tracked my daughter when no one else could. He led Officer Reed through an active minefield. He deserves rest, not reassignment. Detective, I understand your gratitude, but Rex is trained for a specific purpose. Keeping him in civilian life wastes his potential. His potential? Marcus stood. The paramedic tried to stop him, but he waved her off. Rex has been through hell. His mother died in the line of duty. His handler was murdered. He was abandoned during an ambush and survived alone for 4 days tracking a kidnapped girl. And you want to ship him to another handler? Another mission? Morrison's expression hardened. That's exactly what I want. Because that's what he's trained to do. Dogs like Rex save lives. Keeping him here retired when he could be working is selfish. Keeping him working until he breaks is cruel. Gentlemen, Park interrupted. This isn't the time or place. Morrison closed his tablet. Fine, but this discussion isn't over. Rex is coming with me. No, Marcus said. He's not. Excuse me? I'm filing for temporary foster placement. Rex stays with me pending resolution of his status. Morrison laughed. You can't just adopt a federal canine. I'm not adopting. I'm fostering. There's precedent. Canine handlers who retire or die, their dogs are placed with foster families until permanent arrangements are made. Rex has no handler. Chen is deceased. That makes him eligible. Park's eyebrows rose. Marcus is correct. Protocol allows for foster placement in extenuating circumstances. Morrison's jaw clenched. And what makes you qualified to foster a tactical canine, Officer Reed? 8 years in the canine unit. My partner Titan retired 6 months ago. I know how to handle working dogs. I know their needs. And Rex and I just completed a successful rescue operation. I'd say we work well together. Morrison studied Marcus, calculating, assessing. You understand if we locate Sokolov and need Rex's capabilities, he reports. No arguments. If you need Rex for Sokolov, he reports, but he comes home to me afterward. A long pause. Morrison looked at Park. This is irregular. So was today, Park replied. Rex operated independently for 4 days, found evidence we missed, led us to the victim, assessed an IED and communicated its layout to a non-handler. Nothing about Rex is regular. Morrison's phone buzzed. He checked it. His expression shifted. The forensics team found something in the tunnel. Sokolov's crew left behind a laptop, encrypted but intact. If we crack it, we might finally locate him. Then you have your lead, Castellano said. You don't need Rex. Morrison looked at Rex. The dog slept peacefully beside Marcus, oblivious to the debate about his future. Fine, Morrison said finally. Temporary foster placement. Reed, you're responsible for him. He stays in Chicago. He stays available. Clear? Clear. Morrison walked away, his phone already to his ear, coordinating the next phase of the investigation. Park exhaled slowly. You just signed up for a lot of responsibility, Marcus. I know. Rex isn't like Titan. He's younger, more intense. He's been through trauma we can't fully understand. I know that too. Park placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. Chen would be grateful. She loved that dog. Trained him herself from 8 weeks old. She'd want him somewhere safe. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog's breathing was slow, steady, at peace for the first time in days. He's earned it, Marcus said quietly. Castellano knelt beside. Eyed Rex. She stroked his head gently. You gave me my daughter back. I won't forget that, ever. Mia joined her mother. She wrapped her arms around Rex carefully. The dog stirred, opened his eyes, looked at the girl he'd risked everything to save. His tail wagged, slow but genuine. Can I visit him? Mia asked. She looked at Marcus with hopeful eyes. Any time, Marcus said. He's family now. The word hung in the air. Family. Marcus hadn't used that word since Emma died, hadn't let himself feel it. But looking at Rex, he realized something had shifted. He wasn't alone anymore. Park handed Marcus a packet of documents. Foster placement paperwork. Fill these out. Vet records, emergency contacts, all the standard stuff. Marcus took them. When was the last time we did a temporary foster? 3 years ago. Handler died in a car accident. His widow couldn't keep the dog. We placed him with another officer until adoption was finalized. And Rex? Park hesitated. Chen had no family. Her brother James is military, deployed overseas. He can't take Rex. So unless someone steps forward, you're it. Her brother, Marcus said. Does he know about Rex? I contacted him this morning. After we recovered Chen's body, he asked me to look after Rex until he returned stateside. When does he return? 3 months, maybe longer. Park met Marcus's eyes. James knows his sister loved Rex. He wants what's best for him. If that's staying with you, he'll support it. Marcus nodded slowly. 3 months, maybe longer. That was enough time to figure things out. Enough time for Rex to heal. Enough time for Marcus to heal too. Dr. Patel approached. Rex needs rest. Real rest. Quiet environment. Limited activity for at least a week. That paw needs to heal properly. He'll get it, Marcus said. And you need rest too, Officer Reed. You tore muscles in your back and shoulders. You're going to be sore for days. Worth it. Dr. Patel smiled. Yes, it was. The sun had climbed higher, mid-morning now. The rail yard behind them was swarming with investigators, crime scene tape everywhere, cameras documenting every inch. But here, in this small circle, things were quiet. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog watched him back. Those amber eyes held understanding, recognition, partnership. Come on, buddy, Marcus said softly. Let's go home. Rex stood slowly, favoring his bandaged paw, but his tail wagged. Ready. They walked together toward Marcus's patrol car. Park and Castellano watched them go. Think they'll be okay? Castellano asked. Park smiled. Yeah, I think they'll be more than okay. 3 months passed like pages turning in a book. Marcus hadn't realized he was writing. The apartment that had felt like a tomb slowly transformed into something else, something warmer. Rex's presence changed everything. The empty dog bed in the corner wasn't empty anymore. The silence that had suffocated Marcus for 18 months was replaced by the sound of paws on hardwood. Breathing. Life. They established routines. Morning walks through the neighborhood. Rex's limp faded as his paw healed. Evening meals. Marcus cooking while Rex waited patiently. Nights on the couch. Rex curled beside him. The weight of the dog against his leg was an anchor, a reminder that he wasn't alone. The wedding photo on the mantel stood upright now. Marcus had finally turned it over. Emma smiled out at him. And beside her photo, something new. Rex's badge. K9V418. A small brass plate engraved with his name and valors. The nightmares came less frequently. Marcus still woke sometimes, heart pounding, reaching for Emma, finding emptiness. But then Rex would press his muzzle into Marcus's hand. Warm, real, present. And Marcus would breathe. Remember. Keep going. The call came on a Tuesday morning. Park's voice on the phone, formal, official. Marcus, there's a ceremony. This Friday, City Hall. The mayor wants to recognize Rex, and you, for the Castellano rescue. Marcus had expected this. The story had gone public 2 weeks after the rescue. Local news first, then national. The footage from body cameras had been edited and released. Rex leading Marcus through tunnels. The IED assessment. The train bearing. Cutting down. 57 million views and counting. Do I have to wear the dress uniform? Marcus asked. Park chuckled. Yeah, you do. Rex gets a pass though, he just has to show up. Friday arrived with clear skies and cold wind. March in Chicago, winter refusing to release its grip. Marcus dressed carefully. The uniform felt strange after months of street patrol. Too formal, too much ceremony. Rex sat watching, his head tilted, curious. We're going somewhere important, Marcus said. You're getting an award. Rex's tail wagged once. He didn't understand awards, but he understood Marcus's tone. Something good was happening. City Hall was packed. Press, officers, politicians, families. Marcus spotted Castellano immediately. She wore her dress uniform. Mia stood beside her. The girl had grown. Her hair was longer. The fear had faded from her eyes. But when she saw Rex, her face lit up. Rex, she called. The dog's ears perked. He pulled slightly against the lead. Marcus let him approach. Mia dropped to her knees, hugged Rex tightly. The dog's tail wagged continuously. He licked her face, gentle, affectionate. I missed you, Mia whispered. Castellano approached Marcus. Thank you for bringing him. Mia's been asking about Rex every day. He's been asking about her too, in his own way. The ceremony began. The mayor spoke, long sentences about bravery, service, dedication. Marcus tuned most of it out. He focused on Rex. The dog sat perfectly still beside him, professional, like he'd done this 1,000 times. Maybe he had, in another life, with Chen. Officer Marcus Reed. The mayor's voice cut through Marcus's thoughts. Please step forward. Marcus walked to the podium. Rex followed. Their movements synchronized. The crowd applauded. The mayor presented Marcus with a Medal of Valor, bronze, heavy, engraved with the department seal. Marcus accepted it, shook the mayor's hand. Cameras flashed. And for Canine Rex, the mayor continued, in recognition of extraordinary service and bravery, we present the Medal of Valor, awarded posthumously to his father, Canine Valor, an honorary recognition for Rex himself. A uniformed officer brought forward a shadow box. Inside, 2 medals, one for Valor, one for Rex. Below then, a photograph. Valor in full gear, standing tall beside his handler. Proud, strong. Rex's mother wasn't in the photo, but Marcus knew her story now. Kira. Killed in action during a raid 5 years ago. Valor had been her partner's dog. Later became a legend himself. Rex stared at the photograph. Something in his posture changed. Recognition maybe, or instinct. The understanding that he was part of something larger than himself. The crowd stood. Applause thundered through the hall. Rex remained calm, accepting the recognition with quiet dignity. After the ceremony, people surrounded them. Officers Marcus hadn't seen in months. Civilians wanting photos. Children asking to pet Rex. The dog handled it all with patience, but Marcus could see the fatigue building. Let's get some air, Marcus said quietly. They slipped out a side door. The courtyard behind City Hall was empty, peaceful. Marcus sat on a bench. Rex lay at his feet, exhausted. Footsteps approached. A man in civilian clothes, mid-30s, military bearing, short hair, sharp eyes. He carried himself like someone who'd seen combat. Officer Reed? The man said. Marcus stood. Yes? I'm James Chen, Sarah's brother. Marcus's breath caught. He extended his hand. I'm sorry for your loss. James shook firmly. Thank you. I got back stateside yesterday. Park told me where to find you. He looked down at Rex. The dog had risen, staring at James with focused intensity. James knelt slowly. Hey Rex, do you remember me? Rex approached cautiously. He sniffed James' extended hand. Then his posture relaxed. His tail wagged, slowly at first. Then, faster. You do remember, James said softly. He ran his hands over Rex's head, his shoulders. You've gotten bigger, stronger. He's been through a lot, Marcus said. Park told me everything. The ambush, the 4 days alone. Finding the Castellano girl. The IED. James looked up at Marcus. My sister would be proud. She trained Rex from a puppy. Taught him everything. She always said he'd be better than Valor. Better than any dog she'd worked with. She was right. James stood. I wanted to thank you. Even for taking him in. For giving him a home when he had nowhere else to go. He gave me more than I gave him. James studied Marcus, reading something in his expression. Park mentioned you lost your wife, and your canine partner retired. 18 months ago, and 6 months ago. So you were alone too. Marcus nodded, and then Rex showed up. Yeah, then Rex showed up. James was quiet for a moment. I thought about taking him when I got Park's call. Sarah would want me to. But I'm deploying again in 2 months. Special Forces. I'll be gone for a year, maybe longer. Rex deserves stability, not another person who disappears. What are you saying? I'm saying he's yours, officially, if you want him. Marcus looked at Rex. The dog sat between them, watching both men, waiting. Your sister loved him, Marcus said. She did, more than anything. And she'd want him with someone who understands what he is, what he's been through. Someone who won't treat him like a tool or a trophy. James met Marcus's eyes. Someone who needs him as much as he needs them. Marcus's throat tightened. I want him. Then he's yours. James pulled papers from his jacket. I had the federal foster agreement converted to permanent adoption. All you need to do is sign. Marcus took the papers. His hands trembled slightly. He'd been prepared to fight for Rex, to argue, to prove himself worthy. But James was offering freely what Marcus hadn't dared to hope for. A second chance. Thank you, Marcus said. James knelt beside Rex one more time. He placed both hands on the dolly's face, looked directly into those amber eyes. You take care of him, okay? He's good people. Sarah would like him. Rex's tail wagged. James stood. He shook Marcus's hand again. If you ever need anything at all, you call me. I will. James walked away, back toward the ceremony, back toward whatever mission waited for him next. Marcus sat back down on the bench. Rex immediately climbed onto the seat beside him, laid his head on Marcus's lap. A gesture of contentment. A home. You're stuck with me now, Marcus said softly. No more missions, no more handlers disappearing, just you and me. Deal? Rex's eyes closed. His breathing slowed. Deal. The sun broke through clouds. Golden light spilled across the courtyard, warming the cold stone. Marcus sat there with Rex, not thinking about the past, not worrying about the future, just being present in this moment, whole again. People needed saving. Marcus understood that now. He'd spent 18 months believing he was beyond repair, beyond purpose. But Rex had shown him something different. Sometimes the one who needs saving does the rescuing. That evening, Marcus's apartment was quieter than usual. Rex slept deeply on the couch. The medal ceremony had exhausted him. Marcus made dinner. Simple. Pasta. Sauce from a jar. But he set 2 plates. One for him, one for Emma's photo. I'm okay now, he said to the picture. It took a while, but I'm okay. Emma smiled back. Frozen in time. Happy, young. Gone but not forgotten. Marcus picked up the adoption papers, signed them carefully. His signature made it official. Rex was his, permanently. He placed the papers beside Emma's photo. Beside Rex's badge, a small altar to the things that mattered. Past and present, loss and love, memory and hope. Rex stirred, lifted his head, looked at Marcus with those knowing eyes. Come on, buddy, Marcus said. Let's go to bed. They walked to the bedroom together. Rex jumped onto the bed without hesitation, claimed his spot. Marcus lay beside him, one hand resting on Rex's back, feeling the steady rhythm of breathing. Outside, the city moved on. Sirens wailed, trains rumbled. Life continued its relentless march. But here, in this small apartment, 2 souls who'd been lost had found each other, and that was enough. Marcus closed his eyes. For the first time in 18 months, sleep came easy, because he wasn't alone anymore. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.